Each day for 4 days, Linda traveled for 1 hour at a speed that resulted in her traveling 1 mile in an integer number of minutes. Each day after the first, her speed decreased so that the number of minutes to travel 1 mile increased by 5 minutes over the preceding day. Each day of the 4 days, her distance traveled was also an integer number of miles. What was the total number of miles for the 4 trips? We have a rate problem, and we have each day Linda is traveling 1 mile and an integer number of minutes. The rate is 1 mile divided by, let's say, integer number of minutes in x minutes. Each day after the first, her speed is decreased so that the number of minutes to travel 1 mile increased by 5 minutes over the preceding day. Let's say day 1 we have, the rate is 1 mile in x minutes, and day 2, 1 mile in increased by 5 minutes, x plus 5 minutes. Day 3, it takes 1 mile, x plus 5, x plus 10 minutes. And we have day 4, 1 mile. The rate is x plus 10 plus 5, x plus 15 minutes. And Linda traveled 1 hour every day and resulted each of the 4 days her distance traveled was also an integer. So we have to multiply distance is equal to rate times time. Since she traveled 1 hour every day, 1 hour is the rate is in minutes, 1 hour is 60 minutes, times by 60 gives us the distance. Rate times time is the distance covered. And then the next day, 1 mile over x plus 5 times by 60. So it's times by 60 times by 60. Now we get the distance for each day, and then we're going to add them up. We have the total distance. The total distance will be an integer. In the first one, we have 60 over x. It's an integer. The second one is 60 times 1 is 60 over x plus 5. Next is 60 over x plus 10. And then 60 over x plus 15. Since these are integer values, the denominators must be divisor of 60. Divisors of 60. We can try from the answer options, or we can just check the divisors of 60. 60 is equal to 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, and 4 times 15, 5 times 12, 6 times 10. These are the divisors of 60. We can try for x, and then we have to get integers. And what we should actually try, I think the 5, since we are adding 5, 60 over 5 is an integer. 60 divided by 5 plus 5, which is 10, another divisor of 60. 60 divided by 5 plus 10 is 15, that's an integer. 60 divided by 5 plus 15, which is 20, that's also a divisor of 60. That gives us integer values all the time. If x is equal to 5, and the other options, I think they don't work. Let's say, for example, it should be multiples of 5 again to get if it is 15 or 10, let's say. If it is 10, 60 divided by 10 is good, 60 divided by 15 is good, 60 divided by 20 is good, but 60 divided by 10 plus 15, that's 25, that doesn't good. The only value works is 5 for the factors of 60. And if we calculate each quotient and add them up, we have the answer. 60 divided by 5 is 12, that's 6, 18, and that's 4, 22, and this is 20, which is 3, which total is 25. Answer is option C. 18 plus 4, 22 plus 3 is 25 miles is the total distance.